What's up, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome back to another solo leveling Arise video. Alright guys, we got an interesting one here, and I want to talk a little bit our boy GUNHEE, the old man, the one that people are very disappointed in and are calling mid already. So let's take a look here at Alpha Leaker's newest leak. Now this is not much of a leak, it's more of a truth or I guess true or false game. Let's just go with that. He's given us three truths and two lies. Okay? So three of these things that he's posted are true, two of them are lies. So let's go through it. GUNHEE can regen HP. Probably a lie. So I'm going to go with the false on that one. GUNHEE can deal Almighty Break. I've been saying this for a very long time. From like the day we saw any form of like leaks on him, I was like, guaranteed the first Almighty Breaker. So I think that's the truth. Hansime gives immortality. I think that's false. We know Hansime can definitely trap enemies because of her Vine skill, and new Sung weapon can be thrown and then teleport to. I think that is very true, Minato style from Naruto. So I think those are the three truths. Now, I want to talk about GUNHEE specifically because I want to defend our boy here a little bit, and why I think he's going to be probably the most wanted breaker in the game by far. And I mean, like, we're talking about leaps and bounds by far. Okay, now none of this is actual facts. This is just based off of my own assumptions, and again, my assumptions have been pretty damn good. I've had a pretty damn good streak. Now let's look at breakers in general. Okay, so a couple things I want to point out here about breakers and their skills is you guys can see eventually usually at A2 or about A4 or A3, a breaker gets more break skills. Okay, so first off, you guys can see every breaker in this game, number one, has either weak, medium, or heavy breaks. Okay, not many of them have heavy. Most of them I think are medium to weak. If I'm remembering correctly, let me go back here. Let's see. Weak, medium, weak, weak, weak. Right? You guys see what I'm saying? The only one that if I recall correctly are going to be Emma with heavy break, right into her second skill and I think that might be it. And then also Beck. I think Beck also has there we go. He has heavy break as well. Okay. Now we know what a heavy break can do. All right, we know how much heavy break can do. You guys can see here from a basic skill perspective. Again, each of these guys with their skills eventually does increase their break damage. Like, look, A2 increases the user's break effectiveness by 20%. If you look at Nam as well, too, Nam's also similar to that, where she has heavy break, medium, weak, etc. Right? So, and the same scenario with Nam, right? If you go to A1, she gets a break effectiveness increase. Now, if you guys don't recall how strong an Almighty Break is, I'm gonna, no pun intended, break it down for you. All right, we're gonna do a quick little scenario of how much difference a Almighty Break does in comparison to something that is not Almighty Break. So first thing we're gonna do, guys, is we're gonna find ourselves. Let's just find ourselves a little bit of a boss with a break bar. You know what? Actually, we'll go to a stage. Let's go to a stage. Probably even easier doing it this way. So I'll go to a Jinnu stage. Sure, let's go to Kargalagagagan, and then I'll show you guys the difference between a heavy break versus an Almighty Break, right? This should give you a general sense of how different GUNHEE is. Now, I'm under the assumption that he's going to scale. He might be the first unit that scales off of attack and defense, just exactly like this skill right here, this multi-shadow strike. Sorry, this right here. This what's this skill called? What's it called? What's it called? Just armor break? Is that what it's called? That's it? There's no skill name? Oh, here we go. Yeah, multi-shadow strike. That's it. So I believe that he is going to scale the same way as this, where he's actually attack and defense, and he's going to provide Almighty Break. I have a feeling that he's going to be able to do this as a skill, and he's going to scale off of these two. He'll be the first character to scale off of two stats, and I think that makes perfect sense, being who he is. Yes, he might not be impressive from a skill, from his overall skill, look, and feel, but I feel like he still is going to be the most wanted breaker for a very long time. Okay, and this is why I think a lot of people are underestimating him because of his animations, and I think this is why you guys should reconsider. So let's take a look here. You guys can see right away we have Death Dance, which is a heavy break, and then we have an Almighty one, right? We have an Almighty Break right here. Let's look at the difference real quick. So to make things easy, I'm going to do this on normal mode, okay? Just because I want to get this done quick. I'm not looking to spend a lot of time on this, but I want to show you guys the difference between a regular heavy break, right? Light element. So both the same elements. So we're not looking at two different elements here, which is good. Versus a break that is Almighty. And you guys will see exactly what the difference is. And this is, I believe, how GUNHEE is going to be viewed when he comes out, and why I think it's so important to have to look at him in a different sense than what you guys are, what a lot of people are looking at, which is a weak unit. All right. So let's take a look. I'm going to jump in here. I'm going to do quick couple breaks. We're going to see what the bar looks like. All right, so here, we're going to just do quick shadow step. Oh, actually, maybe not. Maybe we'll just get hit instead. You know, why not? All right, so here's the heavy break. Look at the bar. 3 bars, a little over 3 bars. All right, now let's take a look at, the almighty break difference. All right, let's just let him do his thing. Let's go, bro. Okay, 3.5 bars. Look at this. Can't even count how many freaking bars that was. About 6 bars, right? About 6.5 bars. Like, that is the difference between being a heavy breaker and a almighty breaker. It's night and day difference, guys. Like, it's not even a comparison between the two of them. And that's the thing I want people to note. And I've been saying this, but when people were like prejudging him way too fast, right? That's what I was trying to like get people through people's heads is like, we shouldn't be judging a character before they're out and tested. And I know a lot of people were disappointed in the animations, but animations, guys, like I always say, if it's a stick figure and he does really good damage, I'll take the stick figure over the good damage. So this is kind of what you're going to need to keep in the back of your mind. Now, again, I'm guessing, right? This is not 100% that this is going to happen. We may or may not get this level of power from him. If we do, then amazing, right? But I think that people need to stop underestimating what they see from him from an animation perspective, because he probably will have so much to offer, and then people are going to, you know, a lot of people have already gone into Meilin and fully like went into her, well, like fully like dived into getting copies of her because they were like, oh, GUNHEE's animations are stupid, they look dumb. Like, and this is something that a lot of people really need to stop doing, because I feel like you guys are putting yourself in a position where you could instead be benefiting from an almighty character, almighty break character, which I think personally is going to be used almost through all content going forward that has a break bar. That's my take on it. I don't think we're gonna see any other character be as impactful as GUNHEE will be when it comes down to a break perspective. So for those people who are like, oh, he's not worth it, you know, like his animation looks mid and stuff. Again, if you're all about animations, and keep in mind those animations were like done on weird enemies. I would not have like chosen those enemies to do the animations on. I would have done them on enemies with break bars to just show the power, right? And I think that Marvel's notorious for this, where they don't do a very good job of giving us good showcases on their characters. Like, look at all their live streams and everything. I always think they do a really poor job of doing that. So, you know, keep that in mind. I do think he's going to be super, super strong. I do think he's going to be probably the better of the 2 characters. Now, the reason why you may want to consider Hansime over him is based off of your, you know, your love for your mains. Like, if you have Alicia as your, or not Alicia, sorry, if you have Mirai as your main character and that's who your main DPS is, then you may want to consider going for Hansime over him. But I think personally, everybody's getting a free copy. I think you should push him to the point where, just like you saw before, every breaker has that dupe skill to break even further. And he might be able to 1 break people. Like, even if not, at least 2 break people, 2-shot break people. Like, it's going to be crazy how good he's going to be, in my opinion. So that's just my take on it, guys. I think it's unfortunate a lot of people have kind of given up on him already. But I think personally that we're looking at one of the best OP breakers in the game for a very, very long time. And that's just my take on it. All right, guys, this is Payne. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you guys in the next one.